Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and I'm here with another reading vlog. We are trying to tackle my physical TBR this year and I have put everything into a spinning wheel and we're going to spin the wheel and it's going to decide what my next few reads are. So I think I'm going to do 3 and we'll just kind of go from there. Let me get my screen recording up. So we're just going to spin and we're going to see. I've put most of the books on my physical TBR on here. There are a handful that I have not included, either lots of them because they're like not the next book I need to read in a series. So if they're not in the next book, then I haven't included them. A handful of them I have not included because I have specific video plans for them. So I've only got 39 books on here, but we're just going to go ahead and spin and we'll see what I'm going to read next. Let me see. Do I just click it to spin? Go. I'll just put the screen recording on the screen so you can see what I see. Oh, this is so perfect. I was wanting to read this one anyways. Okay, our first pick is Edge Dancer, which is a novella in the Stormlight Archive, and I need to read it before I can get to the 3rd book. So this is on my monthly TBR this month anyways, so this one is perfect. Really happy with that one. Also, it's really short. Okay, number 2. Okay, for the sake of variety, I'm not going to do 2 Brandon Sanderson ones. We already have one Brandon Sando. Let's pick something different. It just wants to go to that same spot every time. Okay, come on. Let's try something different. Okay, here we go. Something a little different. One Dark Window. This one, if you haven't seen it, it got pretty internet big. It's like a dark fantasy. I don't know if it's YA or adult. Not really sure. I actually got this one for my husband for Christmas, and neither of us have read it yet. So this will be good. So we'll do that one, and then we'll pick one more. Not another Brandon Sanderson. Please. I don't need to read 2 of his books in one video. Okay, The Traitor's Game. This one is a random one that I found at DI. I know pretty much nothing about it, so this one will be fun. I actually am going to be spending the next week down at my parents' house, so I'll take these 3 books with me, and we'll see how much I read while I'm down there, and I'll update you when I have some thoughts on these 3 books. We're going to be doing a lot of fantasy in this video, apparently. Hey guys, sorry if this angle or lighting is terrible. I'm currently at my parents' house and I'm trying to find a place to film where there's not a lot of people. So this is what I've come up with, but I have finished Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. This one was good. It's obviously like just a little novella, very short. The first, I don't know, 30 pages of it is actually the interlude from Words of Radiance, maybe, where we meet Lift. And then it continues on after that and gives us a little bit more of the story. The author's note is interesting. It explains like what the purpose of this novella is and kind of the details that it fills in between, but very good. Would recommend reading it in between the books. I don't know, my husband kind of skipped the novellas, but I feel like it was worth the read. So had a very good time with that. Lift is hilarious. Like, she's such a funny character. She's so spunky and just full of life. I really like Lift, but I don't have a ton else to say on that book because it was just such a short book and a lot of it was stuff I have technically already read before. That does mean that we're on to our next book. I think I'm going to go with One Dark Window next, and I'll start reading this. I'll try to give you a few more updates on this one as I read it, but I'm excited. This one sounds like it's more of like a dark fantasy book with like a monster. I don't know. It's also nice that it's just a duology, so I'm not like jumping into some insanely long series, but this is our next read, and I will catch you up when I've gotten at least part of the way through this book. Guys, I wanted to quickly give you an update before I fully finish One Dark Window. I am actually having a really good time with this book. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was a little skeptical going into this one because it has gotten so much hype online. I wasn't sure if I was going to really enjoy it, but it has been really good so far. It took me a second to fully get into it. I think I was just a little distracted, but once I sat down and like fully started reading, I'm flying through this book. So I'm definitely going to finish this here very soon. I don't have very much left at all, but magic system is so interesting in this book, and I know a lot of people have said that already. It's all surrounding these like cards, but there's more to it than that. There's like this fog that can like turn people magical, but there's always like a really heavy cost of the magic, and I think that is so interesting to have a fantasy book where magic use is so heavily limited, not by like people trying to control it and telling you how much you can use or not, but by like the magic itself taking a really heavy price from the user. So very interesting. There's definitely a lot more going on than we've gotten the full picture of yet. And it's one of those books that I feel like has a lot of tropes and has been marketed with a lot of tropes, but it does them really well. And it doesn't feel tropey, even though there are a lot of things in here that I'm like, oh yeah, you could like label that as a certain trope, but I don't feel like it seems overly tropified, if that makes any sense. So I am having a very good time with this one. Loving the characters. I feel like we have a whole cast of just really fun characters in this book. And it's been a while since I've had like a main character or even just like a main duo in a fantasy book that I've really liked. Lots of them I feel like could get really annoying to me, so that has been very nice to have a main character that I'm actually really intrigued by, and she's not getting on my nerves. So loving that. I will say I did pass one scene recently that was a little more than fade to black. So just be aware. I do think this is technically an adult book, so like I don't know. I have less, like, I still don't want to read spice, but I have less issues with it being in books that are marketed as adult books than with stuff like that showing up in my YA books. But yeah, overall, having a good time, liking the atmosphere. I don't know that this is like the most mind blowing, amazing book I've ever read, but it is going well and I'm flying through it. So, no complaints really. Do I think this is going to be like my new favorite book I've ever read? Probably not. We'll see how the ending goes. Uh, Also, love the fact that it's just a duology and I only have one book left after this. So, anyways, having a great time. I'm going to go finish this and then I will start my next book. Hey guys, I figured it's time to update this video a little bit. Hopefully you can't hear it. They're doing some kind of construction, something outside of my house, and it's been going all day. And it's just this like really annoying, like, I don't even know, pounding sound. But I have some updates for you. First of all, I have finished One Dark Window, and I really liked this one. Pleasantly surprised. Again, I just feel like oftentimes really viral internet famous books are not my fave, but I really like this one. I think my number one thing about this book was the characters, which is not normal for me. Normally I am like all that really matters is the plot, characters are bonus. But the characters really sold me on this one, largely because they were just so mature compared to how a lot of characters are and just so undramatic. I feel like there are several tropes that I really don't enjoy that could have happened in this book. And there were a lot of tropes in this book just in general, but they were written in a way that it wasn't annoying or overly dramatic, specifically the very end of this book. There's a certain type of scene that happened, and I don't want to spoil it, where normally I feel like in a lot of fantasy books, especially some of the ones that go more viral, you get this really dramatic reaction, and it's like, I can never trust you again. We go from being like madly in love to like, I hate your guts and I'm trying to kill you for really no reason. Like sometimes when this happens, it's fair. But a lot of times I feel like the reaction is just so over the top and unnecessary. And it's just like, really, like, could you just see it from the other person's point of view at least a little bit? Like, just try. And that is how they react in this book. So finally I got some characters that were like adult enough to, and I feel like this isn't even just an issue in YA books. I feel like even in adult books, I have seen this issue. But this book finally had some that were able to be like, yeah, I can see why you might have done that. And like, I'm hurt, but I'm okay to like move forward, and I'm not gonna like start hating your guts now. But I do desperately need the second book. I have ordered it. Will for sure be reading it. As soon as it gets to me, I will be picking that book up, because this book ends in quite an awful place. And all I can say is this author does not seem afraid to do her characters dirty a little bit. And so I'm a little nervous about where this book is going, but I'm also so intrigued. The magic system is still really cool. Do really like the plot. Yeah, I'm just loving it. I'm just so happy to have a book that was like an internet viral one that isn't just like full of tropes and annoying, because I can see exactly where it's going. So if you're also sick of that, it has a few tropes. Like, it has a few things, but I feel like it just gets to the point really quickly on them, so you're not like dragging out this whole thing where you're like, I can see what's about to happen, you know? Anyways, I have also started the Trader's Game. I'm a little over 100 pages, and this one's good. This is one of those books that I just feel like the best way I can describe them is they're just kind of like candy. Like, I just keep eating them, but they're not really like doing anything substantial for me, you know? Like, they're a good read and I'm having a good time. Is this gonna stick with me or be a standout book? No. Like, it's good and I'm enjoying myself and I'm getting through it quite quickly. But I also don't know that I'm gonna be like raving about this. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe the plot will get complicated. This one does seem to be following a little bit more trope-esque things. Like, I can kind of see where we're going with this one. Even just within, and I don't feel like this is a spoiler to say this because it is like, I'm literally 100 pages into this. It is very like it was should be an enemies to lovers, but they like already are obviously having feelings hardcore for each other. Like, from page 1, they are like obviously having feelings for each other. So I don't even know that enemies to lovers is correct. Like, they are fully planning that one or the other of them is going to end up dead by the end of this, but they also are like, kind of wish that didn't have to happen. So, I don't know. It's going okay. I don't know that I have any in-depth thoughts because it's not like that deep, but I don't even know. I mean, I read the thing. So far, pretty much like page 1, she gets kidnapped by the rebels, and they tell her that she is going to help them find this blade. And she is constantly telling them, like, this is not going to work. This blade doesn't even exist. Like, first of all, this is just a myth. Your plan is awful. And they're like, well, you have to help us or we're going to kill your friends. She's like, fine, I'll go with you, but just so you know, we're not going to be successful. And they just finally got to the place where they're going, to her, like, family home where there's some trauma, and her and this boy have history. He's part of the traders now. It's this whole thing, but flying through it, but I don't have much else to say about it. So I'm gonna go finish the Trader's Game and then we'll wrap this video up. Hey guys, I've finished the Trader's Game, so time to give you my final thoughts and wrap this video up. This one was alright. I feel like my thoughts immediately after finishing it, it's been a couple days now, my thoughts right after were a lot more positive than they maybe are right now, but I did have a good time. This one, I think what I said earlier pretty much sums up my thoughts. Like, it's a good, easy read, but there's very little substance to it. I think one of my biggest complaints was just the world building. I feel like we were missing a lot, which I think for some people that's totally fine. Like, they don't need super in-depth explanations of everything world building wise, but I feel like I already am forgetting lots of details of what were going on, and it's only been a couple days. And I think that's just because the world building was a little, it just kind of slipped in there. It wasn't ever like a focus of like really explaining things. Like, there are creatures in there called ornithopods or something like that. All I know about them is that they will eat people if they don't like recognize your scent. So you have to be careful around them. I don't really know what these things look like. So I don't know. I'm almost picturing them as like large, like roly-poly bugs, whatever you want to call those. I don't know that that's supposed to be what they look like. I don't know. The rules and limitations to magic, super confusing to me. I don't understand the magic system. This like emperor guy just kind of has like all of this magic. but like you can lose your magic somehow for some reason. I don't know. Maybe this is something that comes up later in the series where like the magic actually gets explained. And like there's this whole line of magical people, but then like, I don't know. Very confused on the magic side of things. But it was fine. The plot was a little, I guess maybe not predictable, but I do feel like it got a little tropey towards the end. Like, of course, people ended up in the roles that they ended up in, right? So I don't know. It was okay. Maybe not my favorite YA fantasy book, but it was good. So that was the end of reading books that the wheel chose for me. I had a good time with these ones. Overall, very solid week of reading. I finished all these in about a week. 2 weeks, however long it took me. But yeah, really getting through a lot of fantasy. Good to check these all off of my physical TBR. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.